watching Don Shea Boxing Nation.
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? So some breaking news. Right after I just dropped a video reporting that the Ryan Garcia versus Manny Pacquiao fight will not be an exhibition, according to Ryan Garcia, now we find out there's not even a fight, because according to Golden Boy, the fight is off and it's not going to happen. Golden Boy's president, Eric Gomez, he said there's nothing to talk about it. They did contact us, but it turns out that there is nothing to talk about. That fight is not going to take place. There are new people who enter boxing who want to enter, but there's nothing to talk about. There is nothing concrete. I do not see possibilities, end quote. So that is a hell of a development, guys. And you would automatically think for most people that this is good news, but honestly, this news is bittersweet, because the next thing Eric Gomez says is they're working on Ryan Garcia versus Teofimo Lopez. It's another good fight, but it's more false advertisement from Teofimo and Ryan Garcia. This whole situation is starting to look a lot like the Canelo-Golovkin situation. They continue to fight each other, but they both refuse to fight Jamal Charlo or Demetrius Andrade. And that's what's happening right now. Ryan Garcia has aggressively been calling out Tank Davis for quite some time. Teofimo Lopez, he's been constantly telling the public if the Kambosos negotiations falls apart, Devin Haney is next for sure. And then out of nowhere, we just find out that Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya, and Bob Arum, they're meeting, or they already met in person to talk about what fight? Ryan Garcia versus Teofimo Lopez. Which is really not that surprising now that we know the Manny Pacquiao fight is not going to happen. I told you guys when Ryan Garcia said that he had a big fight that he was working on, it was either going to be against Manny Pacquiao or Teofimo Lopez. Because Bob Arum had said about a week ago that he didn't want Teofimo to fight Devin Haney. He said he wants to make Teofimo versus Ryan Garcia. He said that's the fight that he really wants to make. And once again, this is so analogous to the Canelo-Golovkin situation, because the one thing about Canelo and Golovkin, they needed each other. They both felt they had a better chance of beating each other than beating a Jamal Charlo or a Demetrius Andrade. And the same thing could be said when it comes to Teofimo versus Ryan Garcia. There is no doubt about it. Out of everyone in the Final Four, Ryan Garcia's best chance of beating someone would be against Teofimo. And the same thing applies for Teofimo. His best guaranteed chance of winning would be against Ryan Garcia. Teo has already admitted that Ryan Garcia is the weakest out of the bunch. And the fact that neither one of these guys are inside fighters, they're both counterpunchers, it gives both fighters a really good chance of winning this fight. It's up in the air. You already heard Teofimo, after he fought Nakatani, which was a very difficult fight, he said, I'm finished with fighting tall fighters. So he admitted that that's part of his kryptonite, is fighting tall fighters. Now he's going to fight a tall counterpuncher with power in Ryan Garcia, if this fight comes to fruition, which obviously is the fight that they want to make. This is a classic case of MBF all day. I told you, we're going to see the biggest display of MBF this year, 2021. Now, real quick, going back to Manny Pacquiao, it actually makes sense now why the fight wouldn't happen, because I was trying to figure out if they're having an exhibition, no one is going to be interested in watching Manny Pacquiao and Ryan Garcia in an exhibition when Manny Pacquiao is or was a WBA champion. He had been talking about fighting Errol Spence and Crawford. Ryan Garcia has been talking about fighting Tank Davis, and all of a sudden they're going to fight in a sparring match. And we know that Manny Pacquiao is often asking for crazy money. He probably wanted $20 million to fight Ryan Garcia in a sparring match. And I truly believe that's why Eric Gomez the Golden Boy president is saying, no way it's going to happen. No way it's going to happen. So this derails plans for Manny Pacquiao. But once again, Ryan Garcia, he still has a way to go the MBF route. But because Ryan Garcia talked the talk, he's going to have to stand his ground and tell Golden Boy, look, I'm going to look like a complete fool if I don't fight Manny Pacquiao when I've already promised the world for at least a year that I want Tank Davis. So you guys are going to have to go ahead and give me this Tank Davis fight. That's all Ryan Garcia can really do to save face. Ryan Garcia put himself in this position. See, if Ryan Garcia would have been aggressively calling out Teofimo and then he fought him, then that would have made sense. It wouldn't have looked that bad. But he's been calling out Tank Davis. He's been talking the talk. People are going to expect him to walk the walk now. So even though it's not official yet, if this fight does happen, there's no doubt about it, this is still a way better fight than Ryan Garcia versus Manny Pacquiao in the exhibition. Now, in the last video I dropped, Ryan did confirm that the fight, it would not be an exhibition, it would be a real fight. But now that the fight is not happening, it doesn't matter. But I will say this once again, I would still rather see Ryan Garcia versus Teofimo as opposed to Ryan Garcia versus Manny Pacquiao, exhibition or no exhibition. So I'll keep following this story, but it is very clear that it is NBF all day, y'all, unfortunately. That's all I got for now, and I'm on to the next one. Fellas, I've got some great news for you. If you've lost your hair or have a receding hairline, the time has come when you can finally get your hairline back through a process called scalp micropigmentation. So here's how it works. It's a hair tattoo that replicates the look of your hair follicles when you have fully shaved it down. Make sure you go ahead and contact my man Scalp Carolinas on Instagram. All right, now check this out, guys. If you're looking to repair eczema scars, burns and bruises, dark spots and blemishes, then this right here is the perfect product for you guys. It's called Elo de Key Face and Body Oil. Athletes and top-ranking boxers, they're also using it after training to reduce swelling,
so we just talked up a fight.
So get yours today. Go to elodekey.com. Like them on Facebook and follow them on Instagram.
Guaranteed,
listen, I'm telling
next
you guys
fight's
right
gonna
now,
be with our man, Ryan Garcia.
Important things in life
to Ryan talked about him so bad.
And I can vouch for this one right here. Because this brother
but you're picking up other fighters when you got a guy who is afraid of no one.
If you having problems,
he just beat
YouTube,
the pound for pound best fighter in the world.
Whatever it
he
is,
didn't blink.
contact lawyer,
and
who you like to fight next, brother?
Everybody.
Everybody
that's anybody. I've been knowing this man for a while.
All the guys at my division, whatever it's Devin, Garcia, Tank,
but most important,
whether it's my mandatories or anything, going up to 140, then we talk about 47.
So to get in contact with him, go to ironlawfirm.com or consult global.
Yeah, you have these guys' numbers he's talking about. Man,
look at his.
Mike wants to start something.
He's licking his chops.
Come on, call some of them. Call
I'm
Devin.
my chops because that's